Welcome to my channel. This is the Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 12, episode 11 review, Snake Bye. Because we finally get a little bit of a closure as to what the hell we've been arguing about this whole time. And let me just say that I was right in my assumption of who the hell did it. But let's just get into this little review. I got my 4 pages of notes. It's going to be a little hot minute for us to get through this because I have a lot to say. I have to keep playing it back to make sure I got all the details I need to make this review right, so you guys can understand why I take the stand I take. I'm sorry. So, stay with me here. I might need to stop and get me a drink, but if I do, I'm just going to play it out from where I started. So, the episode starts where it left off last week because Beastmaster Dennis crashes the Toronto trip. He shows up. He decides to go and thank Tanya and her fiance, forever fiance Paul, because they haven't got married, and the wedding plans aren't being talked about. So forever fiance Paul are sitting there, and they did something nice. They did bring Dennis out to Toronto because they felt like he really had something to say and he wanted to see Portia. But here's the thing. He decides to pick up the microphone and he wants to thank them about seeing that they're family. He wants to appreciate them for what they did for him. Then he announces that he embarrassed his family because he almost lost them 2 months ago by being selfish. Are you crazy? Instead of saying he's cheating, he embarrassed by cheating, which is what was out in the tabloids, in addition to saying that he didn't fuck the hoe in the shih tzu. You are being accused of more than cheating, bruh. You are being accused of not just being an animal whisperer, but doing a hell of a lot more than just cheating. Like, we don't know if you like women or you like canines. We can't tell the difference, but you out here saying that all you did was be selfish, whatever. I was Candy's spirit because Candy in the confessional said that she would not go for that, and neither would I. You're not going to come here and use your scapegoat apology by saying you're just being selfish. You need to elaborate to these people what the hell it is you did, because Portia out here looking stupid. People are asking her if she been to the vet, if she had her shots, all 3 of them. If she took I think it was Bordetella shot, if she had her worm test to make sure she ain't got worm in her belly. They're basically treating her like she's a damn animal because you don't know whether your dick should be in a human being or the tooth fairy or a damn dog. Which is it? But you're sitting here minimizing it by saying that you're selfish. I'm selfish too in my marriage or my relationship. Sometimes I can be. I don't feel the need to spread my legs for Godzilla or He-Man. But he basically downplayed this by saying he's selfish. But I think that Portia was kind of wooed by him being there. She likes, she likes extravagant things. She likes loud gestures because she feels like this is a way to show the public that he's for her, and whoever the hell it is he's been talking to is not that serious type situation. But he gets down on both knees, not just one, both of them. And he's sitting up there trying to propose to her, repropose to her with a bigger rock. And before she said anything, he shoved that shit down her finger like, if you don't say no, heifer, don't say no. I'm over here embarrassing myself after everything that's been on the tabloids and on the blogs. Take this damn ring and marry me. So Portia is happy. She takes the microphone and does her little speech saying she appreciates him, that she wants everybody to now know that she loves him. And she says that she wants Hennessy and a sign of penis. Girl, you better make sure he went to the vet too. Because I want to make sure that your ass don't catch nothing. Because I personally don't trust Beastmaster Dennis. I don't trust him. He's Mr. Clean Ass. I don't trust anything that he says. I don't trust anything that he does because I watched him at his freaking therapy session. It didn't seem like he was willing to accept and really admit to himself the gravity of the situation of what he did to you. So it makes me feel like his ass might do that shit again. So for me, I'm not feeling it. But just make sure that he had all his shots. Make sure you know which way he swings. Make sure you understand that sometimes he might want to have a threesome with something else, with something else that you don't know about, not just a dog. Maybe it might be a horse next time. Maybe it might be a bug. Hell, it might be a chicken. But just make sure that you know exactly what you're getting yourself into, because I'm not convinced that this is it. Hopefully, I'm rooting for you, Portia, but I'm just not buying this particular situation and how he handled himself to this entirety of the cheating fest. Anyway, we got on the bus, Kenya decides to go ahead and mimic Tanya because she genuinely wants them to be there, and she genuinely wants them to enjoy the Toronto and the carnival. She genuinely enjoys their company, and she genuinely is a nice person. I love that girl. Marlo decides to ask Portia about the blogs, which you just talked about the blogs and if they're true. Marlo, shut the fuck up. Dennis does not have, well, he might have an animal fetish. Maybe he just wanted something different. I mean, hell, we didn't have a Kardashian or Jenner turn into, decide to change himself after a few years because he felt like he in turn was a woman. We've had things come out, that we didn't expect. It's possible that Dennis is a mental, something mental going on, that this might be something he might be interested in. I'm just playing. I don't know anything about that, but I'm saying the fact that Marlo felt the need to go and talk to Portia about this after she got engaged. Like, why would you bring that shit up? Clearly, she just said that she's trying to fix her family and she wants some dick and some Hennessy. You gonna sit up there and ask her if it's true about the blogs because you want to keep your puppies away from hell. Keep your whole body away from you, escort. Stay away with your messy ass. Then what got me is freaking, what's her name? Yovanna's ass decided to say, bring it up again and talk about, what is it you bitch? Why are you asking Portia about her relationship? Y'all are not friends. You don't know her like that. You were on this trip because they figured that it's their charity for this week. This is Tanya's charity. She's gonna write you off on her taxes. There's a reason why you're there. So sit your ass down. Don't sit up there and ask something like that. Yovanna hasn't been around long enough to even think that she could take a dig like that, especially not a Portia. Portia didn't do nothing to Yovanna. She hasn't done anything to her. Yovanna's just too much and try to figure out a way to cause a fight between somebody so she can stay relevant. So she asked that question and Portia's looking at her like, no, if I thought that man was out here fucking chihuahuas and Rottweilers and Huskies and shit, I would not be with him. So why the hell would you even ask that question? You don't know me like that. Shut up. I don't like Yovanna. I'm gonna tell you why later on as we go along. Anyway, then we go ahead and Portia decides to tell him that she's happy that Dennis admitted that he was selfish because men tend to be selfish, which they are. However, the word selfishness in this case is being replaced by cheating, infidelity, words that are trigger words that really explain the gravity of the actions and the decisions that people make. Cynthia points it out in her confessional that selfishness and cheating are two different things because I'm selfish. I don't cheat like that. You feel me? Like I don't go out there and feel like selfishness and me going out there and letting somebody into my area, my personal area that my man or my husband is supposed to only get the privilege of doing is the same thing as selfishness. It doesn't work that way because I can come back from work after working 10-hour shifts and my man will want me to sit up there and rub his feet because he feels like he wants dinner and his feet rubbed. In my mind, that's selfish because you're not considering me and thinking about how I feel. That's completely different than going out there and screwing not only what we assume to be a female, but screwing something that we may assume to be a foreign animal, something that people don't normally do because your blogs didn't say that you just went out there and fucked somebody or you went out there and text somebody, you went out there and cheated. They are accusing you of going out there and sticking your personal business into maybe a freaking dinosaur, for God's sakes. Like, this is not that minimal for Portia to say what she's saying, but I feel like she's doing this because she wanted to defend herself because here we go, Marlo and Yovanna's ass is putting their nose and trying to ruin this girl's happiness, and she felt like she had to defend herself, so she said that. Then Nene goes and tells Portia, gives her advice, saying communication is key, and that she expects her to put that man on punishment because she ain't finna be played, and that because Nene has been in a relationship or a marriage longer than anybody here on this cast, she feels like she has that experience, and that she expects them to go ahead and communicate with Dennis more, and that she feels like punishment in this situation is supposed to be the right thing to do to make sure this person understands. And I'm thinking, yes, Dennis does need to be punished for his behavior. You can go in and put him outside with Blue and Magenta in their freaking doghouse outside. Blue's Clues is out here. You can go ahead and have him go ahead and blend with them because he decides that he wanted to be with that type of individual or that type of animal, whatever. My point is Dennis needs to be in the hot seat for some time to make sure that he understands that this is something that Portia is not willing to go through. Sorry, I got a call. But on the bus, we got Cynthia, Marlo, Candy, Eva, Kenya, and Portia. They go into what we know as Marlo's room together. Candy brings up the whole Snakegate situation. I gotta fix my camera. Candy brings up the whole Snakegate situation and says that they've been trying to figure out who the fuck this individual is. Then Kenya decides to come up with a plan. She said, let's go ahead and accuse Yovanna of doing it. And they did this after they asked Candy, they asked Cynthia, do you recall having any kind of venting conversation with Yovanna where you felt like you said something that may be taken out of context or whatever? And Cynthia says yes, she remembers doing that. And they production flashback to where a picture with Cynthia and Yovanna hugged up together like they're besties. And on the corner, you see Yovanna's phone upside down, like she didn't click the record button, but put it upside down until the conversation is over. My problem is Yovanna in that picture is smiling and kikiing like they're besties. But now you tell him that she's possibly the one who used that conversation to record her ass. That is literally shitty as hell. That is a fucked up personality, but let's keep going. Cynthia says yes, that she did. Then Kenya says, you know what, let's blame her and see if she comes out, if she puts some pressure on her, if she tells the truth. Then Yovanna comes walking in thinking that she's going to have a pajamas party, right? And Portia tells her that the recorder has been revealed and that it has been said that it's her. Marlo's ass decides to defend Yovanna, basically makes Cynthia look like, makes Cynthia look some type of way and everybody else look dumb by saying, no, she lying, I'm all about truth. Now, y'all remember that Cynthia asked Marlo in a previous conversation when they met up to eat, that Marlo, if she wants to kind of build something with Cynthia, needs to stay out of whatever the fuck is going on between her and Nene because it is nobody's business. Marlo agreed. Now in this situation, she didn't insert herself first by saying, no, she lying, which interrupts what they're trying to do. The rest of them are trying to just figure out. Number two, she goes and in comes Mother. Mother meeting Nene with one tit coming out, a freaking, I think she had a jewel or something on her nipple. I don't know if she felt like maybe she got her titties done. We need to see it. But I'm looking at her like she is still a grandma to somebody. Why the fuck is your titty out? You trying to breastfeed somebody? It's not like it's Eva with her baby, her pregnant herself trying to feed somebody, or Candy with her newborn daughter. You got your titties all the way out for us to look at them damn cantaloupes. We don't want to see it. Stop it. We don't want to see all that. That's a bit much. I don't think Nene's an ugly woman. I don't think that she's physically unappealing, but I don't want to see your tit to that extent when I don't feel like it's necessary. You're not performing. You're not doing anything. Your titty needs to be back inside that bra. We're supposed to be. I damn sure don't need to see those damn milk duds. Anyway, Yovanna decided to ask Nene, you know what? Nene, we're talking about the Snake situation. Can you let us know who it is? Nene decides to say that she is not going to snitch and she's not willing to tell who it is. Yovanna, in her situation, when they asked her about it, when she came into that pajama party type situation prior to Nene walking in, they asked her and she tried to do what a guilty person does, which is deflect and act like she don't know what they're talking about and change the topic so they can fight about something else and not what the fuck she did, because now she feels like she's trapped. She says, let's talk about y'all being fake friends. Bitch, who the fuck are you? Who are you? Don't talk about you're that bitch. Who are you? When it comes to Real Housewives of Atlanta, you are not significant. You are at the bottom of the food chain. You don't exist because this is season 12. You're not even Kim. You have not been here long enough to sit up there and tell these girls who've been around each other for lengthy periods of times for multiple seasons why you think they're fake. First of all, you're Nene's friend. That's what you issued a disclaimer. After you went been fake with Cynthia, you now decided that Nene was the person you want to hang out with because you feel like Nene's the reason you're gonna get a peach. But you're not gonna get a peach. Not the way you act. Nobody likes you. I don't like you. Hell, I don't want to see you on that show. And I know that I'm not the only one here in America who's watching Real Housewives who don't feel it for you. So you're not gonna get a peach. Okay, so calm that down, number one. Number two, for you to sit here and now say that they're all being fake, bitch, shut the hell up. You have to have been around them long enough to really see the dynamics of things, because Nene has done some janky shit for people to feel the way they feel towards her. Cynthia has done some weird ass funky shit for me to feel the way I feel towards her. You got Portia has had an issue with Cynthia, had an issue with Kenya. Kenya has had an issue with damn near everybody on that damn stage. Candy has had an issue with Nene. You got people who have put time in for you to speak the way you have spoken. You don't have a right to speak, and you're doing it because you feel guilty. You don't want to get put on blast. But here we go, Nene saying she don't want to be a snitch. But then in the midst of her saying this stuff, you got Marlo bucking up ass, talking about, literally going off on Cynthia like Cynthia did something wrong, talking about you just mad because you didn't talk some shit and now you being out here put on blast. The fact is, I don't know if it's Marlo's drinking, because she didn't accuse what's her name from last season for being a drunk, but here she is, the alcohol is making her act the fool in front of Cynthia, even though Cynthia read and cussed her the fuck out, well deserved, because she said that Cynthia is feeling some type of way because she got caught. The fact is, it's not necessarily she talked shit, it's the fact of the sneakiness of it. If you're gonna record me, let me know. That way, if I want to talk shit, I will say it knowing that I'm being recorded. For you to do it in the janky side, you and I were having a conversation, we're supposed to be cool. For you to do that, that's sneaky as a motherfucker, and that tells me a lot about the type of person that you are. I would not want you around anything that has to do with my family, anything that has to do with anything that I want to protect. So for Marlo to, again, insert herself in what she told Cynthia she would not do, ran her mouth to where Cynthia started telling her, if you want to act fool, you can go and do it somewhere else, bitch, I'm not the one. And Nene's on the confessional talking about, well, this is the 50 Cent I know. What the hell is Cynthia supposed to do? Somebody's cussing her out or somebody's buttoning into something that don't got enough to do with her. Because you expect Cynthia to stay quiet? Cynthia, to me, I don't feel is a goody two shoes. I don't feel the woman is just this, angel that walks around and we should glorify her because she's so beautiful. No, I believe Cynthia stays quiet, but if you try her because you think she's quiet, just like Claudia, she will read you for filth, because you can't pick on somebody because you think they're going to stay quiet. And Marlo got the business, just like she got it from Eva. She's getting it from another model in that whole team. Marlo just keeps getting with the wrong person. Her reads are dumb as hell. She needs to stick with what she knows. Ill-fitted wigs, escorting business. She needs to stick with how not to get a peach. Everything that she needs to stick with is in that category. Her receding hairline, her bad wigs not being tacked down, that's her expertise. She don't need to get in between the situation to have an opinion, because her opinions are dumb. Whenever she speaks, it just sounds dumb. Talking about bald headed. Shut the hell up with your wig wearing ass. You ain't bald too? You're wearing a wig. So why would you even say something? Like, the reasons are just dumb. They don't make sense. But Cynthia's done with her. Cynthia tries to leave. But Nene has her stay there. Kenya walks over to Cynthia, holds her hand, trying to figure out who it is. Nene then says something along the lines of, whoever, I'm not going to snitch, but whoever it is, please stand up. Right? At this point, Yovanna's ass is still sitting down. She was rolling her eyes and looking the other way when they were arguing about this. When Marlo and Cynthia were arguing, she didn't say nothing. But now she felt like maybe Nene will protect her, and this snake thing is going to go through the reunion so she could show up and then say the truth. It didn't happen. Nene spoke up because things are starting to get out of hand. And then Marlo says, Yovanna, go on and tell these people. So now we know it was Yovanna, which is what I predicted, that it was her ass, because I couldn't think of anybody else and what reason behind it they might have. I considered Kenya because Kenya, I figured, she may do it because she was trying to, break up their friendship because she may have been jealous, but that didn't seem too realistic. Yovanna was the only one I really banked on because I felt like she's the only one who had motive. She feels like Nene's the one who gets people on the show. That's what Nene has said. For most people believe in Tanya and Marlo. So she wanted to align herself with Nene because she feels like Nene is her way into the show to getting paid. And she was willing to do it by any means necessary, even if it means getting in between a 10-year relationship. Bitch, you will never be blessed because the way you do shit is sneaky as a motherfucker, and you will not get what you want from this. We see you, we see who you are, we see each other. And I don't trust, like your little fake ass with your blonde ass wig. Oh, shut up. But she decided to basically deflect again. They asked about it. She said, I said what I said. Bitch, you are not Nene. Shut up. You are not Nene. She's trying desperately. She got the wig on. She said what Nene said. I said what I said verbatim. She's trying to deflect. She's trying to act like she did. Girl, you will never be the it girl. As Nene says, proceed with caution because you're about to get yourself knocked out of the show because you're doing the absolute most. Because they didn't send your ass back from Toronto. You didn't even get to go to Carnival. Obviously, you know that what you've been doing ain't working. But we find out that Yovanna is it. Kenya's going off and basically saying Yovanna's the one that they've been talking about. But here's the thing Nene says, that it's not a recording, that she said it was an audio. Candy's like, bitch, what the hell? This don't make sense. Is it what is the difference between an audio and recording? She told Candy during that meeting when they were eating or meeting up at a restaurant that Cynthia was talking shit about her, and unfortunate for her, there was an audio. Audio meaning almost insinuating that somebody recorded everything that she was saying. You did not specify whether it's by words or mouth, as in she had a meeting with somebody, or whether somebody actually recorded her ass on the phone or something else. So we all assume, based on how you put it out there, that she talked to somebody who was damn working for the FBI with some wires under her clothes and recorded her and is about to use it as evidence, exhibit A, to basically confirm apparently that Cynthia is such a bad person, because that's what Nene was trying to do. Is basically Nene feels like maybe we perceive Cynthia as some innocent person. Maybe we as the viewers see Cynthia as a victim. And she really wants us to view Cynthia as a potential villain. And in this situation of Cynthia dogging her out, when they clearly aren't friends really, they're not getting along, they're fighting. When people are mad at each other, they're going to say some shit because they're mad as hell and they're venting. It is not going to make me look at Cynthia horribly because you yourself has said some shit. We didn't find out that you're the one who, or your people are the one who sent that freaking card or whatever message you sent to Cynthia during her wine cellar situation and her proposal. You sent that shit to B. Scott because B. Scott said y'all got her fucked up, that it was you and your people that sent that out to make you look good. So now you want to go ahead and make Cynthia look like she's full of shit and she's crazy and she's this bitch. It ain't working because here Cynthia goes. They're arguing. Cynthia gets up and walks out. Nene decides to chase her, trying to act like she wants to be her friend. No, stop. I want you to sit here and listen to what Yovanna has to say. Let her speak because I don't want you to think I'm making this up. Nene wanted Cynthia to sit there and wanted Cynthia to sit there and listen to another human being speak ill of her in front of the entire group. She wanted to embarrass Cynthia. Cynthia's not dumb. That's why she got her ass up and walked out, because she sees the play-on-play type of situation that's trying to go, this little fuckery that's about to go on. If Cynthia stayed there and argued back and forth with Yovanna, Nene would have sat there next to the corner. She would have been smiling because she would have said again in the confessional, this is the 50 Cent that we know, because she wants to get that reaction out of her. There are some types of people that if you give them silence, if you pay them dust, it bothers the fuck out of them, and Nene is one of them. You have to give them something, some kind of anger, something for them to feel like you care, because talking to them in a calm, reasonable fashion, one-to-one, like woman to woman, is not enough. They want to get something else out of you, and Nene is being vengeful and vindictive and petty as a motherfucker because the production had asked her, is Yovanna the snake? She gonna say, I won't particularly say Yovanna is a snake, but if you're talking about if she has the information, yes, she does. Bitch, what? She is a snake. The way she got the information was snaky as hell. She was smiling at that photo, kikiing like they're cool. She didn't act like she was mad or they were angry or whatever. She did that on a sneak tip. So yes, she is a motherfucking snake, bitch. And on top of that, they asked Nene why you wouldn't tell Cynthia when Cynthia's out here on the verge of tears, about to cry, trying to find out why somebody that she thought was a cool person that she hung out with innocently, thinking that person was a genuine, decent human being, would do something like that to her. That is hurtful. And you sitting there watching your so-called friend that you love about to break down, and you're on the confessional saying that you don't feel like you owe her the truth because something she did supposedly about inviting Kenya without telling you that she invited Kenya to her party. Kenya didn't record your ass. You eventually saw Kenya face to face. So what the hell? It's not like she recorded you dogging Kenya out and then put it out there to Kenya without you knowing. Bitch, that is fucked up. This is the fake shit that Nene does sometimes that pisses me off about her. Okay? I love her on the show. I love Cynthia on the show. They entertain the hell out of me. But sometimes they do some fuck shit, and this is what I'm talking about. This was fucked up on Nene's part. She did it on purpose, and I feel like internally she enjoyed watching Cynthia in pain. And for me, that says a lot about the type of person that you are. If you are okay after 10 years of being friends with somebody, watching this person rack their brain and struggle and really frustrate themselves to the point of where they're about to cry, and you still continue with the fuckery, it says a lot about you. And on top of that, we got Kenya come out. Kenya, to me, I don't like her ass, and I think she's messy sometimes. I love watching her because she blesses me with the mess and she keeps me entertained with the shit she does. So I like watching her on the show. But as far as the stuff that she does to keep me entertained, would I do them? No. But in this situation, I felt like she was the one person who had Cynthia's back to the fullest. She had her back from beginning to end. She was willing to make sure that they weren't about to have Cynthia looking horrible. She was like, y'all got me fucked up. I don't know if she's doing it because she felt bad because she almost ruined her proposal, but she showed that she was a true friend to Cynthia because she had her back. And Nene's sitting here going off, and she know Nene was full of shit. So she going off on Nene. Nene tells her to shut the fuck up. Kenya no punk. She was like, you shut the fuck up. And they're over there pointing at each other. Nene act like she about to put her hands on Kenya. I don't know. If Kenya and Nene decide to fight as if they're freaking fighting for the kingdom or whatever, who would win? I think Kenya can hold her own. I also think Nene can fight. So I don't know who's going to win, but that'd be an interesting fight to see because Kenya wasn't backing down. Nene wasn't backing down. Portia scurried herself over to Nene, tried to stop her from attacking Kenya. Kenya got people holding her back too. Eva said, stop talking about I'm pregnant. I got to get the fuck out of here. I got to catch a plane. I mean, Tanya in all of this is genuinely missing all of this mess. So I'm watching this and I'm like, damn. What kind of shit is this? Cynthia ends up leaving. As soon as the fight starts, she walks out because she don't want to be part of it. Yovanna is in the freaking hallway. Now, Nene's chasing her out, telling her that she needs to speak, basically goading her to be at the point receiving every dart. Nene's starting to look bad. She's starting to look bad because she started this whole snake gate thing by going to Candy and presenting the information the way that she did after talking to Yovanna, right? She caused all of this, but she expected things to go differently. She expected Cynthia to get a phone call. She expected to break Cynthia down to the white meat. But Cynthia, smart as she is, got up and walked out because she also knows how Nene operates. She's witnessing, she's observer. She knows what Nene was trying to do, so she left. But Kenya's sitting there having her back. Now, what got me is Yovanna's ass don't want to admit what she did. She didn't want to admit that her talking to Nene did not work to her best interest because now things have gotten out of hand. Nene's out there telling her to speak up and basically admit that she's the one who's the snake. And Yovanna says that she don't want to admit that because it's not in her character. So the person that Yovanna's been going the bat for is now throwing her ass under the bus. And she's realized that she's out here looking dumb as fuck and she don't want to admit it. How you like that now, Yovanna? Because ugly people like you, who do little rat ass shit that you did, who do little snake shit, snitch shit that you did, don't get blessed. God don't like ugly, bitch. Now, how do you feel? Because Nene threw your ass under the bus, and when Nene didn't get what she wanted from Yovanna, she walked into the room and blamed Marlo. Marlo, you the reason why all this shit happened. Marlo's like, bitch, I ain't do nothing. Why is let me tell you why Marlo's tolerating this from Nene, because I think Marlo spends more time with Nene and she feels like Nene is the person who's going to keep her on the show. She tried being friends with Cynthia. Cynthia didn't allow her to get too close, and then she turned on Cynthia. Candy's not finna trust Marlo's ass because she called her ass an escort and Marlo called her ass a sugar mama. Portia ain't finna feel it with Marlo. Hell no, she don't trust Marlo. Eva, Marlo is dust to Eva. Tanya can tolerate Marlo, but she's not about to get close to Marlo because how Marlo asked. Nene is the only person that can tolerate Marlo enough to beg her to stay on the show. So Marlo at every point has to stay friends and on good terms with Nene. So while Nene is sitting here blaming her for shit she didn't even do, because she was trying to defend Nene when she picked the fight with Cynthia. Nene's not throwing her on the bus. She's sitting up. All she can do is say, I didn't do it. I don't know what you're talking about. It wasn't me. Ha! Marlo looks like a dumbass for real, but she's willing to do it if they're going to pay her, and that's what escorts do. So we keep going here. Yovanna exits the building. Cynthia exits the building. Kenya's out there talking shit about Nene, basically letting everybody know that Nene's just basically a horrible person, and how she portrayed herself made her look that way. Kenya, of course, being a for real friend, I give her the tag for that. All this is over. The next day, Nene meets up with Tanya, but Tanya had already gotten a few phone calls from several people who were there, including Portia, giving her the rundown of what's going on. And freaking Tanya on the confessional, this is Canada. We don't do this in Canada. We don't fight like this. And they're telling her what happened. Nene lets her know that Yovanna is on a plane back home. She will not be part of this mess because now Yovanna is about to get cussed the fuck out by everybody because Portia's ass was ready to get ass. Because what I forgot to mention is when they found out that Yovanna was the one who started this shit. Portia was the one who decided to check Yovanna personally. She was not afraid to tell Yovanna, you the one who decided to get in between a 10-year friendship because you wanted to get what you wanted, when you want to get yourself, elevate yourself by getting in between them, bitch. And you're not going to say nothing. You're just going to say, I said what I said. Yovanna, again, did the deflect situation by going after Beastmaster Dennis. She said, the snake is your man. And those are fighting words. Portia, if she was not on camera, would have beat the hell out of Yovanna, and she would have done it with a quickness. Because you out here literally making fun of her husband's or her husband-to-be's mental illness. It is not her fault if sometimes he wants to go and fuck a duck. It is not her fault if sometimes he feels the need to go ahead and get a chihuahua and have fun with it. It is not her fault if he decides to fuck a hoe, a tooth fairy, Santa Claus, even the Easter Bunny, bitch. It is not her fault. She cannot control what this man does. Why the hell would you go ahead and throw that in her face, bitch? It is not okay for you to go. You did the same shit that Marlo did to Cynthia, which is bringing up the whispering situation that Cynthia did with Mike when Kenya was invited to her party. It is called deflecting from the actual issue. Kenya brought all the way back to Yovanna, tell the truth. Portia brought all the way back to Yovanna, and when Yovanna walked her ass back into the room after she tried to tell Nene she don't want to have her character assassinated, Portia was about to get ass and said, security, take this bitch, let her go. If she showed up at that carnival, Portia would have pushed her ass in the middle of traffic and let a car run her over and wouldn't have said nothing to nobody and would have just gotten away with it. She did not want to see Yovanna, and Tanya should have been happy that Yovanna left because Nene also went with her. She was not going to deal with this bullshit. She wasn't going to stay there and make herself look even more crazy because now she caused something and it didn't work out the way she wanted it to work out. So they all get to the carnival finally. All the bathing suits they had on. Tanya has a beautiful body. I loved her butt up there sitting up her curves. She was cute. All the girls looked beautiful in their outfits. They were now going to go out in the carnival, and I mark my words, I will be going to that carnival sometime in my future because what I saw, it was lit as a mother. There was dancing, there was ass shaking, there was some twerking, there was some legs moving, there was some colors, there were probably some good ass food. I will be going to that carnival. I will experience the Toronto Carnival just like I will experience New Orleans and all the masquerade stuff that comes along with it sometime in my life. I sure will because it looks bomb as hell and I will go. Anyway, the carnival finishes. They go ahead and they discuss the night before. Kenya says that she wants Nene to go ahead and move back to the Pride Lands because Nene's animal ass attacked her like an animal would, and she's not feeling it because Nene and her will never be friends. On the other hand, Nene wants Kenya to deflate her ass cheeks, this little bubble ass cheeks that she got that looks fake on Kenya. Kenya has some thin legs. The doctor who did her booty did not do it to match her body type because you see Nicki Minaj and her body is, you see even Nicki Mudarez on Love and Hip Hop, how her body is. Kenya, I think, tried to get the same thing, but she only focused it on her butt. And with her hips not really being out there, her legs being skinny as hell, it looks like floaters on the back of her ass. It looks like you could throw a pin in there and it will just deflate, like, just let it out. And that was a read for Nene, and that was funny as hell. Anyway, we got Tanya letting everybody know that Nene gave her the rundown of what happened. Cynthia decides to let them know that she's realizing that Marlo's spot will never change. A zebra never changes its stripes. A leopard, the spot's gonna stay the same. And Marlo will always keep her spots the same way so far as Nene is her shoe in to keep getting this money that she needs to furnish her business. So she's not gonna turn away from Nene. And Cynthia needs to realize no matter what happens, Marlo's not gonna change. Now, if Marlo gets kicked off the show and Nene is not helping support her in what she wants to do, then Marlo will turn against Nene and tell the truth. Because right now she needs Nene. So she's willing to do whatever the hell Nene asks her to do, including taking some bullshit just so she can stay on the show. And Cynthia's now realizing that. I could have even told her that shit. She needs to go through this to find out. Girl, pay attention to people's spirit. Marlo already showed her ass multiple times. She will never change. So far, she's getting these coins by Nene being around Nene, and Nene's gonna fight for her. She will forever beat up Nene's ass. Anyway, we got Candy, Cynthia, Tanya and Kenya all sitting down the next day. Tanya says that Nene gave her the rundown, like I just mentioned, at that table. Marlo joins them and then decides after Nene is going to give Cynthia some piss poor ass apology for her behavior. Bitch, bye. Save that for somebody else. We know who you are. Your apology is nothing. You kiss my ass. You did the most and you can stay over there. Cynthia gave her a fake acceptance just like I would. Anyway, you got Portia joining the middle, her cute ass outfit. You got Marlo bringing up that Kenya is wearing a wig because she's trying to be petty because Kenya fucked up her little launch. Talking about Kenya is all about natural hair. I have natural hair, bitch. Don't mean I don't wear wigs and weaves sometimes. That read is dumb. Just let it go. She embarrassed your ass. She did what Kenya is normally. When Kenya reads, she reads and she gets it right. When Marlo reads, she reads and it gets lost because we don't know what the fuck she's talking about or it sounds dumb as hell. So stop while you're ahead, Marlo, because nobody here is believing what the hell you saying or even feeling you trying to start this drama. Let it go. Then we got them speaking about marriages and Cynthia getting married, Portia getting married, and then they bring up Tanya's forever engagement to Paul and her wanting to get married and ask her, does she want a marriage? Tanya says that her relationship is perfect right now and that she thinks things are good. And Kenya's messy ass decides to now get it because y'all know Kenya is sitting here confused because she don't know if Mark's cheating on her with his upper lip. She doesn't know. She doesn't have proof, but she's suspecting that he's been cheating on her with everything on his body. His toes, his teeth he's been licking at, his nose. He loved his daughter more than he loved her, which he should, but he don't want to touch her. He's completely not wanting to have anything to do with Kenya physically. He may be playing with a shower head. I don't know. But Kenya is not exactly sure about whether or not this man is cheating on her. So she's miserable. She's lost and she's potentially ending up in a divorce. So every time somebody's relationship is going well, she feels the need to say something or to put a damper on it. Now in this situation, Tanya says my relationship is perfect and she feels some type of way about it. So she decides to be messy boots and bring up the conversation that she had with some ice cream or cookie clerk or whatever her name is. I don't know who she is, but they showed her with Cynthia. Apparently the girl said that Paul was on her tough and wanted her number and basically wanted to hit on her as if he's really interested in being with her. And they flash back to that situation and she's over here saying in front of Cynthia, Candy, and all of them, what do you think that if you find that a man is cheating, not necessarily cheating physically, but that he has done some cheat-like behavior, should you tell your friend? Everybody says they want to know. Tanya is sitting up there not knowing that the conversation is about her. Kenya's making her look like a fool because Tanya is over here talking about how her and Paul have an open relationship in the sense that she can go through his phone. She has all his passcodes. Kenya's going to ask her, does he have a second phone? She said, no, he doesn't. Tanya is going on and on and on about all these wonderful things that Paul has done to make sure that she trusts him with his life and his balls and every part of his body. And Kenya is sitting up here knowing that somebody didn't walk up to her and told her that Paul asked her for her number and basically wanted to get in touch with her. Kenya is being messy as hell. Would I approach the situation this way? Hell no. If Kenya really wanted to tell Tanya about the situation, she could have done that shit off camera. She could have done that shit a different way if she really cared about the girl. Obviously, we saw this on the show. This was put out there. So at some point, it's going to come out because it's part of the entertainment process. And Cynthia has moral fiber because she's about to get married and going to do that to somebody. Portia just went through her whole bestiality situation, accusations that her man wanted to fuck animals in addition to every other thing, lotion, a shoe, everything. She's not about to do that to somebody because she experienced this. Nene has experienced Greg cheating on her. She's not going to talk about this. Marlo has experienced all sorts of cheating because all she cares about was the money. So she's not going to break this up. Candy and her relationship, she's married, she don't want to bring back karma to herself. The only person that's left to do this is Kenya, and Kenya's gonna bring it up because she knows she wants to stay on the show and she's good with the mess, so she brought it up. Tanya still is sticking to her story that her man is a good man. Kenya decides that if Tanya was gonna find out after she didn't start all this, it wouldn't be from her, so she let it go. And then Tanya goes on and the relationship ends, and the show ends. On the next episode, we find out that Tanya is not a punk herself because she find out that Kenya is the one who was putting her family business or her business about Paul out there instead of talking to her privately. So she's going to go ahead and put Kenya's business out there too. And we're all going to find out what it is because I want to know what it is about Kenya that is out there that she's comfortable enough to give to Tanya, but she doesn't think that Tanya's going to put out there if she finds out that she's talking shit. Girl, bye. Anyway, this episode was lit. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching it. It gave me life. I hope Love and Hip Hop does the same thing with Miami and New York that's doing tonight, which I will review. Please like, subscribe, and the notification bell. This is You Too Can Be Great. I'm so sorry I didn't introduce myself earlier, but I wanted to get into this and get y'all the tea. All right, love you. Bye.